All right, welcome. It is June 14th and it's our live team call. I'm super pumped up to share with you tonight about challenge groups, how to rock your challenge groups, how to, if you want different avenues of hosting challenge groups, how to go about that. So thank you, Lori, for helping me tonight, because she's going to share some great tidbits too along the way. We've been hosting these groups for quite some time, and you know what? I wanted to share with you. You kind of have to fail in order to figure it out. Like, there was some things that weren't real pretty and struggled through it, but it's the struggles that make you stronger, and those struggles help you overcome and get better and more confident as you go. So don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid if your first challenge group that you host is a flop, because I don't know about you, Lori, but I've had challenge groups where I've had nothing but crickets in my challenge group. And I'll have 8 people, and I just didn't know how to engage them, or maybe they weren't ready, and I ended up putting them in a challenge group, and they weren't ready for that challenge group, so they just kind of sat there, and when I messaged them, they didn't respond to me because they probably felt a little awkward. That was me. That was because I didn't ask enough questions. It was because I didn't figure out their why. I didn't figure out all those detailed information, important bits that I needed to figure out. So I'm here to share with you tonight, and Lori's going to share as well, on different ways that you can host challenge groups. And the first one we're going to share is Facebook. Now, you're all really familiar with Facebook. You've probably all been in some kind of challenge. You've been invited to an event. I'm sure that somehow you've been into a group in some form or other. There's garage sale groups, there's all kinds of different groups. Now, what I want to share with you are there's a couple different kinds of groups that you can be in. You can be in a closed group, and what that means is it's private. No one can see your group. So if someone searches in Facebook for 5-day fat furnace or whatever, even though that's the title of your challenge group, that's the title of your group, they won't be able to find it because it's closed. However, if you have an open group, which means only the people in the group can see what you're posting, but other people can find the group and they can see who is in the group, if that makes sense. So if they search 5-day fat furnace, there might be a ton of 5-day fat furnaces because there's other people running them, and they're looking for yours. They find it and they want to join. They can actually request to join your group. So depending on what you want to host, I highly recommend keeping your groups open just so other people can find them. You have the ultimate say on whether people are in your group or not. You can, if you are the administrator, you can delete anyone from your group that you don't want there. You can just remove them from your group, which is really cool. So if someone accidentally gets in there, you approve someone that you really don't want, you can boot them out. And going to that, I also want to talk about settings. When you go in your settings, you can create, so if you have a lot of people in your group, you might want to create it so only the administrators can post. And the reason I say that is because so many people in your group, they start posting and everything gets lost. So you'll want to make sure that you create it so only admins can post. Everyone else has to post underneath the admin's post. Another thing that you might want to do, and I'm kind of thinking I might want to screen share just to show you where this all is, because I might be speaking a complete foreign language to some of you. So let me screen share with you. Lori, do you think that's a good idea to screen share? If I can find, let me just figure out my computer here. I must have closed out of Facebook. Oh no, here I am. Okay, so I'm going to go into Team Rockstar Fit. Let me screen share that. Screen share. Okay, tell me when you can see it, Lori. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. So if you go over to these 3 little dots on your group. This is a secret group, and now thinking about it, I am glad I made it a secret group, because this is just for our team, coaches in our team. I don't want just anyone finding this group and asking to join at this point. I think you can change the settings as long as there are under a certain amount of members. And I think it's 500 right now. You can change a group. Do you know, Lori? No. Okay. But anyways, this is where you manage your settings. You go to the 3 dots, you go to Edit Group Settings, and in there, you can pick the privacy of your group. So you can title your group. You can always change that if you want. You can have your web address if you need. This is what I share with new coaches, the web address. It's always right there. You can just copy and paste it. So you could share your group with someone to make sure that they want to join it. Right here, members, mediators, and administrators can post. So I have this group open to anyone can post at any time. If I clicked only admins can post, that would mean only someone that I personally made an administrator in this group could post. And then, why am I missing it? Oh, right here. Any member can add or approve members. So any coach can add more coaches to this group. If I made it, so I clicked this one, any member can add members, but only admins can approve, that would mean they would have to go through anyone I made admin on this page. So I just wanted to clarify that, because those are some things that are very important when you're hosting groups. If you have just a small group, it might not be super huge because not a lot of people are posting, but when you get more people in your group, you're probably going to want to lock down some of your settings just to make sure your information is not getting lost in the post. So I did want to share that. Lori, do you want to share anything regarding Facebook that you have found that I missed?
Well, I guess the biggest things that I would like to add about Facebook is I do think as a coach, it's very accessible. It's very user-friendly. It's just a little bit more work. I mean, there are different loopholes that we will probably share maybe in a different group Zoom in the future about, you know, posting and how we go about that with the Facebook. I'm not sure how much you plan on sharing, Julie, on all of that today. But so there is a little bit more work involved, but yet I do feel like it's more user-friendly than some of the other two in particular that we're going to plan on talking about today. Facebook is probably, I think, maybe the best one, my personal opinion is the best one to maybe start off with, so that you can really see like the background and what it really takes. And then once you can kind of see what the involvement is, I think moving on to the other two maybe makes a little bit more sense.
Yes. And one thing about Facebook is, as the administrator, as the coach, you can add people. Like, they don't have to request to join. And sometimes with other apps, that's a little hang up. People get frustrated because they're like, I don't know how to join. My phone's not allowing me to join. I can't join, blah, blah, blah. And they get frustrated and they kind of give up. And so as a coach, you have to walk them through and let them know it's okay. Sometimes you might have to get them on the phone or, you know, something to walk them through on how to get set up in the other apps. Whereas Facebook, super easy. Type their name in the little bar and they're automatically part of the group. So Facebook, all in all, I give it a thumbs up. It's very conducive to what we're trying to do. You can add files to it. You can add videos to it. You can add so much that will help someone. When you're running challenge groups, I have found, and Lori, you can help back on this, I have found that giving little incentives, I'm not talking huge prizes, little incentives helps motivate some people. Not all people, But some people just little incentives, like if you comment every day this week, I'll put you in a drawing for 2 free packets of Shakeology, or, you know, something small. Don't make it big, but those incentives do really help. People seem to try a little bit harder, and they're excited when they win. So just a little hint there. I know when I get away from incentives, my challenge groups don't do as well. And I think that's because people like incentives. So you don't always have to give stuff, and it doesn't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to be Beachbody. It can be a pad of paper. It can be a notebook. It can be a handwritten card. I don't care what it is, but just giving something, a congratulations, you did it, makes them feel worthy, makes them feel like they accomplished something.
I think another thing that kind of coincides with that, even before the gifts are, you know, part of the issue, let me back up a little bit. Part of the way sometimes what we do is we give points. And that's how people can accumulate and be able to be put in the drawings for the prizes. I think a lot of people actually like the challenge of just earning those points. So sometimes that in itself can really, really push people. I mean, I know that it's probably not good to compare yourself to others, but some people really can't help it. They kind of like have to get more points. So that's another thing that I have seen as well.
Yeah, so that's basically our synopsis of Facebook. It's great. It's wonderful for new coaches. Anyone can run a challenge on it. You can create events, which I really like. And if you have a like page, you can actually run your events through your like page, and people can find them using Google search, or you can run ads for them. So lately, I have been doing all of mine through my like page, and then I make myself a co-host. And by doing that, then I click going, so then it shows up on my personal page as well. So that's just a little tip for everyone too. If you have create a like page, and it's super easy, you guys, to create a like page. And I found that the more consistent you are, the better participation you get. So we'll talk about like pages on another day, but that's Facebook, using your challenge groups through that. Now, I'm going to move to the Beachbody app, which I've done twice. I've run 2 complete challenges through it, and my overall review for it is about a 6. Things I like about it is, number 1, when someone signs in, if they do not have an account, if they're not already affiliated with someone, it prompts them to sign up for a free account. And everyone that I've had join a challenge that is not already affiliated with someone signed up for that, a free account. So that helped automatically tie them to me if they decide to order something in the future. Because you can run free challenges through the Beachbody app. It does ask if they drink Shakeology. Like 2 of their questions that they'll be prompted to answer every day is, did they drink their Shakeology, and did they work out? The rest, you have to input all the information. You set what time you want it to show, so you could actually do your whole challenge. You could have everything posted out, and all you have to do is check in with your people, which is really great. But depending on how long your challenge is and how many posts you have, it can be very time consuming. So that's what I found. I found the challenge, number 1, I had to figure out how to work the app, and then I had to upload all my photos, all my videos, all my information, and that was very time consuming as well, which is no different than Facebook, because you're uploading all your information, and unless you're using Hootsuite or CinchShare or something that you can post ahead of time, you do have to be live in Facebook. And you have to be live in your Beachbody app too, if, you know, every day commenting and following up with your people in that challenge. And when I say live every day, to check in, you don't have to be searching it all day long. Like, honestly, you guys, if you make your posts, if it's on Facebook and you're making live posts, be there when you make the live posts. But if you're pre-scheduling them, if you check in 1 time a day, that is fine, because we all have lives. We're all busy. You can't let these challenge groups consume you. So that's something I did in the beginning that I lived and learned, but I just want to put that out there. So the Beachbody app, I said it was a 6 because number one, it was time consuming. It was something else I had to go to and check in. But the thing I did like about it is it tracked each person, and you can go right to a screen that shows how many times they logged their Shakeology, how many times they worked out, and it'll show you exactly what days they worked, what days they didn't work out, what days they drank their shake, what days they didn't drink their shakes. It doesn't make them, but it prompts them to enter their weight, their measurements, their before photos, and that's huge, you guys. Number one thing you want to get from any customer is a beginning photo. I don't care if it is from the waist up and they're dressed. You want that beginning photo, because if you don't have that, they're missing out on winning $100,000 through Beachbody when they make that amazing transformation. So just tell them that you believe in them so much that they're, these pictures, they're going to be so proud of these pictures in the future of all the hard work they put in, that this is going to be a never again picture. They're going to send you a never again picture. This is their ending of this photo, and they're moving on to the next. So get their beginning photos, get their beginning weights, their beginning measurements. If you want to give an incentive for those people, it'll be worth your time. Because, Lori, do you have any feedback on that for me?
Oh, most definitely. I love that never again picture. That is awesome. I'm going to steal that and use it a ton. Yeah, well, I, for example, am one that really did not have the best before picture. And I struggle with that so much. So I'm speaking from example and from experience of my own. So yeah, my before picture is actually of my behind. Someone had taken it for me. I did not know that, but thank God I do have that picture. Because now, of course, I am so grateful I have documentation of my progress. And as a coach, I learned the hard way. I used to tell people, because I felt like everybody was so sensitive. I know no one wants to do it. They hate that. So I used to tell them, okay, well, take your pictures, put it in a safe file, and they're only for you, and I gave them all these directions, showed them how to do it. And I said, you don't even have to share it with me. Huge mistake. Huge, because I thought that I was doing them a favor, and I wasn't. So what they would do is they would tell me that they had done that, or just act like they did, or just change the topic and put it off, and then they wouldn't take it in the beginning, and then results started happening, and they didn't have accurate documentation. So now I've learned from that, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you can hate me now, but you are going to be so grateful later. So we're just going to do it. And I make them. And I have some people that are pretty doggone grateful right now. Let me tell you, I have one girl who's lost over 71 pounds. And you should see her before, and she shows them off now. So that just goes right there to prove, the verification of how important it is. It really is.
That's awesome. So with the Beachbody app, it prompts them to do it right away. It does a before, like your photo right now, and your measurements, and it also has you prompt in so your coach can read it. So I, as the administrator, can read the goal. So it'll say, what is your goal for this challenge? What is your 5-day goal? What is your 21-day goal? And they have the opportunity to put their goal right there. And so many people, I'm just going to say this because this is what my challengers write. My goal is to be more confident. My goal is to lose weight. My goal is to eat better. My goal is to exercise more. Those are great goals. Don't get me wrong. Those are great goals. But you kind of want to dig a little bit deeper with your challengers and figure out what will motivate them to stick to that goal. So yes, those are great goals, but what is a long-term goal? A long-term goal might look something like this. I want to clean up my diet so I will have a healthier life, so that my life history of heart disease, it won't happen to me in the future. so I can be there for my kids, my grandkids, people like that. Like, you want a bigger goal, because losing weight is great. We all can say, I want to lose 10 pounds, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to lose 25 pounds. Everybody can say that. But to keep you motivated, what is going to motivate you? I'll tell you what motivates you. When you get bad news, that motivates you. When someone says, you need to change or you will die, that is news no one wants to get. And so before we get our challengers, we really want to dig deep. What do they want to be? They might want to be role models to their kids. They might have an issue somewhere in their family that they want to clear up. Figure out those goals. That really helps. I just want to say that on surface level. So Beachbody app, overall, I'll give it a 6. Facebook, I would probably rank a 6 or 7 at this point with Facebook, because I feel like it's really good, but being a busy person, it's very time consuming. Both of them are very time consuming. And sometimes, as you all know, we are super busy. We don't have time. We want to get out there and help more people, and we want to get out and converse with more people and see. We want to build more relationships. I want to build stronger relationships with my coaches, and I can't do that if I'm only running challenge groups all the time. I'm getting new information. I'm trying to stay up to date. I'm trying to check in with them. I'm trying to message them. All these things, very time consuming. So I'm going to move on to the next app, which is Vimify. And I have to say, I'm going to give Vimify an 8. There's nothing out there that's perfect, let me tell you that. But the thing that I love about Vimify is, number one, it's the people who are behind it are continually trying to improve it. So I started with Vimify when it was a baby, and it was very challenging, and I worked through it. And I had a lot of challengers that struggled with it, and maybe even coaches on our team. They were like, I didn't love it. I couldn't get into it. It was frustrating, but it continues to get better, just as I'm sure Facebook and Beachbody will. But the number one thing with Vimify is it is almost like a personal assistant. We have a team, Team Rockstar Fit. You guys know that it's an amazing team. Team Rockstar Fit is under Team Hardcore, which is Janelle Summers, and Team Hardcore is under Christine DeWire, which is Platinum Presenters. So our team starts at Platinum Presenters, and then it breaks off to Team Hardcore, and then it breaks off to Team Rockstar Fit, and then Team Progression. So you are part of all of those teams, which is awesome, and here's why. All of those teams have experience, and they have amazing information to share. Team Rockstar Fit shares all of their information with Vimify, with you, if you decide to do Vimify. And I'm only saying this because I have had great success with it. With Vimify, here are the pros. Number one, you can add your people to Vimify. Okay, that's something you can do. Whereas Beachbody, I forgot to tell you, you have to send them an email, and they actually have to add themselves. Wait, Vimify has to add them too. Lori, help me. Now I'm confused.
So with Vimify, the way it works is you can send them a link so they can enroll.
Yes, thank you. I knew I was missing something. So, but it's just a link. And once they click on it, some people get confused because there's some prices there, and let your people know. This is something you want to let them know right up front. Tell them that you are going to send them a link, and it is completely free. They do not have to pay for anything, and tell them this information right up front. Any challenge you run is free for them, because there is a discover button in the Vimify app that prompts people to other challenges, other coaches' information, other groups, and you do not need to pay for anything. You do not need to join any other group unless it comes directly from a coach, and you want to give your peeps that information. Lori, is there something I missed that you wanted to?
Well, no, what I like to say is I'll just let them know that that is just a tab for the techs use to promote other challenges, because how do I word this? But anyways, I do let them know it's not affiliated necessarily with us. So I just say, please ignore that. That is just, their way of promoting their business. And I'm able to use their system for my work, but so I just say, please ignore that. So long story.
And the reason I say preface that, because people will get confused and they'll be like, what's this challenge that's $24.95? Is that you? And you just have to let them know that you will send them a link, and once they click on that link, they just click join now. Is that what it says? Join now? It'll
say join now, and then it will also say invite or go to task. And I also let them know, most often I will say ignore the invite unless it's something that we've talked about before. And that's maybe, I don't know if that's something we're going to touch base on today or not. No. So what I do let them know is instantly go ahead and join here and then go straight to task.
Yes. So you'll give them that information. That's all the information you have to get that to them. And then once they join, you can actually see that they're in your group. And you'll have to play around with it. But I found when I was first learning Vimify, it was easier on the computer to find everything. I think they've made it more friendly on the phone now than they did in the beginning. But I find that I love the fact that you can do it from your computer or you can do it from your phone. You can do it from an iPad or a mobile device. The other thing that I love about Vimify is that you can, Team Rockstar Fit has challenges that you can just click on and create a start date. So for example, if you want to do a 5-day fat furnace, you can click on that in the Team Rockstar Fit. You have to ask to join Team Rockstar Fit once you've become a Vimify user. You join Team Rockstar Fit, there's like a little icon that you will see, and then you can schedule your challenges. So once you schedule that challenge, everything is already pre-scheduled to post. You do nothing unless you want to edit the posts. Then, Lori, I'm going to let you share from here how to edit once you go in there.
Well, there is a little, what is that called? A little video that you can watch regarding that too. What are those called? Tutorial. Anyways, I do highly suggest, of course, when you first start doing all of these kinds of things, you're going to want to go ahead and tag along with your coach for a while. That's my personal opinion. And so you can kind of see what it's like from all angles. But then when it comes to actually running your challenge, you do have templates that you can choose, like Julie had just said. I do like to then go through these templates and watch the tutorial. It'll show you how to edit them because you want to personalize them. There's going to be things in there that maybe you don't agree with, or maybe you want to add some of your own personality. I suggest adding your personality to it. What's really nice about doing that, and this is going to be very confusing for you at first, but I'm just going to put this out there for you now. And one day you're going to go, oh yes, I remember what she was talking. I know what she was talking about now. Okay, so what you can do is you can add your own flair to it. But when you do that with the template, it's saved. So the next time you want to run that particular challenge, it's already edited by you, and it has your personality. However, do yourself a favor and always still review that program, that challenge, before you run it again, because I had made the mistake of running the same challenge in different seasons. So I had pictures of winter time in the spring. So you do want to go ahead and, make sure that it's all up to date. So that's my little take on it.
Or another thing you could do for that is just make it generic you, so that you can reuse all the time. But what Lori's saying is you could say 4th of July, things like that in the template, but it will save all of that information. So you'll have to go back and re-edit it in the future if you use it again. That's great, Lori. Thank you. So let's see, what have I shared? So it has templates that you can use. You can use the templates there. I've used the templates many times. You don't necessarily have to edit them if you don't want, but you do get notified if people check in. So that's a great thing. You get notifications. You do get notifications if Beachbody people check in and you do get notifications through Facebook, but notifications in Facebook might get lost depending on what you're doing. The thing I liked about Beachbody, I forgot to share this, is the notifications. You can actually, once you've read them, you can delete them. So then you know you've completed that task, you've responded to that challenger. At this point, I forgot to add that to those guys the other day. I meant to say that, and I forgot. But anyway, I was talking to Lori. I apologize. You, in Vimify, it will notify you, and the notifications will stay there. So you might have 44 notifications, and you have to go through those notifications and read what your customer said. And depending on how many challenge groups you're running at one time, because you can run multiple challenges with Vimify. Like literally, there's no limit on how many you can run. You could be running 5 at the same time if you want. I wouldn't suggest that because that would be crazy and you'll probably get confused. But you can literally run as many challenges as you want with Vimify. And the thing is it's like its own personal assistant because it automatically has everything there. And they keep creating it so you can add and take out things. It's a work in progress, so don't get frustrated with it. I think, I'm just going to put this out there because this is what it was when I joined. It was $29.95 per month for each month. And then if you paid for a full year, it made it $19.95 a month, like $20 a month, I think. Is that correct, Lori? I don't know if that's still the price.
I think so.
But to me, $20 a month is nothing to have all of that at your disposal, already posted for you, and just super easy to click on. So if you're afraid to run a challenge group, this is a no-brainer. And in fact, what I did, and I'll upload sometime, I'm not real sure because summer's crazy for me, but I saved each template for Drop 10 with a Friend, 5-day Fat Furnace, 21-day accountability group that I can share. And basically all it is it's the template from Vimify app. And so you can see the exact posts you would be posting on those.
I would like to add a little bit more about Vimify, if that's okay. A couple great aspects of Vimify. One of them that comes to mind, which is huge, is the fact that it's not affiliated with Facebook. So you don't have to worry about I have so many challengers that would get very frustrated with my Facebook groups because of the fact that they would end up, before they knew it, somehow end up scrolling on Facebook, wasting time. Because of the fact that, as you probably all know, when you're on Facebook, that little green light's on, and all of your friends can see that you're on there, and they're like, hey, what's up? And they start chatting with you. Then next thing you know, you're on newsfeed, and then the next thing you know, there goes 2 hours. So you don't have that. This is all an app. It can be right on your phone. You check everything off as you go. The first thing you can do when you first wake up is you get your sleep checked right off because you're all set. Super convenient. Another kind of interesting thing about it too is when you do, because when I set mine up, I set it up through my computer. It's just a little bit easier for me because then it's just easy for me to find, different pictures for my templates, and I work better with a larger screen for the setup. However, I notice that when I do that, I also like to be on my, check in on my phone. So just a heads up, you're going to be seen as 2 people. You're going to be seen as the administrator, as the coach, and then you're also going to be seen as the challenger. So as a challenger, I am checking in with all of my challengers, if that makes any sense. And then as an administrator or as a coach, that's how I get the setup, if that makes any sense. And as you guys, like right now it may not make sense to you, but as you become a little bit more acquainted with this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I know what you're talking about, and I actually don't do that. I don't have 2 separate accounts. I just have one. So I am the administrator full-time, and if I run the challenge with people, I show up as the administrator in there too. So it can be done both ways. You can be, because right, Lori, you have 2 separate accounts. You have an administrator account, and then you have a challenger account. So you run the challenges with your people as a challenger, and you host the challenge as an administrator. I just wanted to clarify. And for me, if I'm running the challenge, I will run it. I'll run the challenge as the administrator. I don't know if there's a difference. I don't know if your challengers notice or not. I don't know. But you can do it either way. I just want to put that out there. That's great, Lori. Thank you for that tidbit. Anything else we missed on any of those? My favorite is Vimify. And the reason being is because it's like my own personal assistant. Facebook, you get lost in so many things once you're on Facebook that it's such a distraction. I love the fact that it's more of a focal point. When you're on Vimify, and you're only seeing the challenge group and what people are posting in the challenge group. It will take people time to figure out how to find everything, and that's a growing curve, and that's okay. Like, if your challengers stick with you for 3 or 4 months, they're going to figure it out, and they're going to see. The other thing I like about Vimify, which Lori prefaced this before about points, but it actually keeps track of your challengers' points for you. So as they're doing their daily tasks, they're accruing points, and it will show who your leaders are, and it has a leaderboard, which is really cool, and that's when you start to see people really take in effect. And yes, your challengers can cheat, but here's the thing. Why would you cheat? Because you're only cheating yourself. So if you put a prize out on the line or something like that, I always send the prize. That's why I say give little minute prizes, because I don't think people are so much into the prize itself as to just earning that position of winning. You know, so many people are competitive and they just want to be number one. They just want to be on the top. And putting that little incentive too, they have the point system so they can see if they're on top. And then if you give a little prize incentive, they're like, at least they're trying to reach something. There's an end result, an end goal. Mm-hmm. So that's my spin on it. I hope that was beneficial. If you could, please place your comments under this video, and either Lori or I or someone else who uses these will get back with you. Know that in our group, Team Progression, this group is for you. It's for you to put questions out there. You put questions out there, we will try to answer. Know that we're not always on Facebook, so if you should get feedback within 24 hours, if not less. But if you don't, put another mark because somehow we missed it. My notifications go off like crazy. I might have 115 notifications, and that's only in, 4 hours of the day, and sometimes I lose notifications. So don't be offended. Just put your questions out there. Put it below this video. Let us know if this was helpful. We would love to see you jump on these Zooms, because, you guys, I tell you what, when I get with Lori, it fires me up. When you're talking with someone else who's like you, that's working for goals, and it helps motivate you. And when you jump on these Zooms, it gives you the opportunity to ask questions. It gives you the opportunity to share what's working for you, what's not working for you. And believe it or not, your struggles help someone else. So don't ever think you're alone. Don't ever think, oh, I can't jump on that because I don't have enough. I'm not doing enough. You are. Being you and putting yourself out there is enough. You just have to give yourself time, and you have to be consistent. And Lori and I talked about this today, but it's truly building relationships. The more people that you correspond with and talk with and build relationships with, the more people that are going to trust you. And then when you put an event out there, the more likely they are to want to join you. So don't ever give up. Know that this is challenging for everyone. This is not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it and everyone would be successful. But you're different. You are different because you have the drive in you to want more. So your consistency, your follow through, your passion, lead with that and share with others. Anything to add before I close our Zoom?
Actually, I do, and I kind of don't want to go backwards, but I'll just be really quick. I do want to let everyone know, and I've had a couple of my coaches already do this, just so you like I said before, you can go ahead and be in these groups with us first until you feel a little bit more comfortable to absolutely run them on your own. We just want to give you this information now so that you have some insight on the background of all of this. But also know that especially with Vimify, you can actually go along with your coach, with the group, and be signed up as a coach yourself, which is really nice because what we will do for you and Vimify as well is when a post comes up, it's going to have your name on there. So that's going to help you have a little bit more confidence and let have everybody know that, yes, you are playing a part of this and you are someone that is, there for the people that you have in there as well. That makes any sense.
Yeah, that's great. And I forgot to mention that. So even if you don't have a Vimify account per se yet, because you're a new coach, you can jump on with your coach and your coach can make you a coach in the group, and you will be showing up as if you are posting to that group as a coach in that group. So it's a really great feature. And then once you decide, yes, Vimify is for me, then you can go ahead and sign up. Like I said, if you sign up for the full year, you save, and I haven't been disappointed. So that's my spin on it. All right, I think we're done. Thank you for watching. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share any questions that you have or any concerns or anything. We are here to help. We're a helping team, and we want to help you grow. And the only way that you can grow is when you believe in yourself and you are consistent. So do those 4 vital behaviors. I don't know, should I share them? It's be proof of the product, right? We all know we need to do that. And we go up and down, and that's okay because life has trials and tribulations. And when you see someone going up, that's when you need to reach out to them and say, hey, what's going on? I'm here to help. I've been there, whatever you want to share. You want to make sure that you're doing personal development. And that is so huge, you guys, because I know when I don't do personal development, my brain gets in the dumps and I start talking negative and I start not believing in myself and I start thinking, who am I to share any of this with anyone? Why would they listen to me? But when you do personal development, you realize you're not alone and your voice does matter. You do matter. You need to invite people. If you are not conversing, if you are not having communication with people, if you are not sending private messages, at least 10 private messages a day, you're not going to get anyone. Because you can send all the generic invites you want, but until you build a relationship with someone and have that back and forth relationship where you have 5, 10, 15, 20 messages going back and forth, and you've learned about them, and then you share, hey, you know what? From what you're telling me, it sounds like my next challenge group might be a great fit for you. Until you get that with someone, you can put out all the invites you want, but people aren't going to join. They're not going to just jump on because you're giving away something free. They're going to join because they like and trust you. So make sure you are making 3 to 4 posts a day and you're inviting people and you're sending private messages. And then the final piece, which I've just added, is making sure that you're basically recognizing people. You're recognizing for the little things. And it can be minute. It can be your first invite a coach makes. It can be a first full group that someone got through. It could be 2-pound weight loss. It could be confidence in themselves. It could be they stopped a bad habit, drinking pop or smoking, or so it doesn't have to be certain things. You make it what you want and recognize people for what you feel is great. So that's our little spin on challenge groups. I hope this has helped you. Please, again, comment below, and we'll see you in the posts.